What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 50. 51, 52. I don't know what episode we want, child. But either way, we are here as the finale, okay? We are at the end of this. I hope it's this season, child. But, we start this episode off. We have, can I go ahead and get Brittany and Marcelino out the way? Because that storyline is just stupid to me. So Brittany and Marcelino, they come back home, from their overnight getaway, and, Brittany was like, everything was nice, and it was great, and it was beautiful, and it was really cool to reconnect with you, but, like, have you ever thought about, maybe bringing somebody else into our situation? And Marcelino was like, girl, what you talking about? And she was like, well, my ex-girlfriend from jail, you remember her? Yeah. I was thinking that maybe we could, and Marcelino was like, girl, what you talking about? Like, I don't fulfill you. Like, I'm not enough for you. I mean, as your husband, I don't give you what you need. And she was like, you do. I don't want you to feel like you don't give me what I need, but it's a little something more that I want. And so she ends up inviting old girl over to the house, and she's flirting with her, and they rubbing legs, and she's like, girl, come get in the pool. And she was like, well, where can I change? My bedroom. Oh, where's Marcelino? Taking the kids away for the night, so we're going to be alone. And they in the pool, they all booed up and hugged up, and and Marcelino come in, and Marcelino's like, what's up? What's this about? What's going on? And they were like, what you want to do, Marcelino? I'm saying, I'm cool if you cool, and I'm cool if we could be cool together. And Marcelino was like, you know what? I wasn't cool, but let's be cool, and I'm cool now. And then they go have sex. Listen. In her little epilogue, she's opened up a sober house. And I'm here. I'm happy for her. I hope it works out for her. Because that was a lie. Like, if that's the best storyline that y'all have, I'm gonna need y'all to do something else. Because I am not interested in seeing, hearing, thinking about Brittany Marcelino being in a whole sister wife situation. I'm not here for it. I'm just not. All right. So we have Sean and Sarah. So Sarah they're still at the park, and she pulls him away to have a conversation with him about the fact that she's pregnant. But before she could tell him that she's pregnant, he asks her to marry him. He gets down on one knee and he proposes. And she is like, oh my goodness, yes, I'll marry you. I will be, your wife. Okay. So they go back, and they about to toast to some champagne, and her mama is not here for it. Her mama don't like Sean. Her mama is not here for it. Her mama is not feeling it. And so, old girl about to take a sip of champagne. Her mama was like, you about to drink that champagne? That's what you get ready to do? And Sean was like, well, why she can't have the champagne? She can't drink the champagne? And her mama was like, And she looked at her mama, and then she looked at him, and she was like, well, yeah, so I'm pregnant. Because she was like, I don't know how he gonna take it. I don't know how he feel about it, And of course he's happy. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so great. That's so wonderful. Yes. Oh, hugs, kisses. And mama is not here for it. Mama is giving him the whole side eye like this. Not here for it at all. So later on in the episode, we see him call Kelly, baby mama. Now listen, I don't necessarily agree with Kelly because he wanted to speak to his kids, and Kelly was like, what you need to tell them? Like, they're busy. And he was like, I want to talk to my kids. Like, I'll tell them myself. No, you need to tell me first, and then I'll tell them. You need to tell me, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to tell them. Now, under normal circumstances, I would be like, Kelly, you doing too much. You out of line. Your children, like, those kids are in school. Like, they're in middle school, high school. Like, they're old enough for Sean to call them and have a conversation with them and say whatever he needs to say to them. But in lieu of the fact that the last time he told his kids, and we only saw him talk to one of his kids, but I'm sure that was for purposes of TV, it ain't go so well, and mama got to be there to buffer all of the bullshit that Sean throws at the kids. You know what I'm saying? Kelly said that he disappears, that he's MIA, and he's not active participant in their life. And we see that he quit a job and moved all the way to the other side of the country to be with some woman that was in jail. So I can understand that Kelly is like, you continuously make bad decisions, and I have to deal with the consequences of your bad decisions. So no, I'm not just gonna let them talk to you. You need to tell me what it is, and I need to decide if, when, and how I'm gonna say what I need to say, because I need to know whether I need to buffer this situation. Okay. But again, under normal circumstances, I would say, Kelly, you're doing too much. He's their father, and they're old enough that you don't need to go through them to have a conversation. And of course, Sarah wasn't here for it. Sarah was like, this is ridiculous. This is some bullshit. Like, he shouldn't have to go through you. And she was like, well, y'all can come here if you want to see the kids. And she was like, he was like, well, she can't leave the state. So y'all gonna have to come here. Like, she wants to meet you so that y'all can, know each other and be cool. But she's gonna have to come here because she can't leave the state, okay? Anyway, in real life, they married already, child. I mean, not real life, but in current times, they're already married, and she is very, very pregnant, okay? Puppy and Amber, listen, Puppy ass got arrested because she got pulled over for a broken tail light. They saw that she had a warrant. They took her happy ass to jail. Puppy is trying to figure out what she need to do. They was like, well, hopefully her PO will show up and release her, but worst case scenario is that they add new charges and she could basically go back to jail for 10 years. Best case scenario is that she gets everything cleared up with parole and parole officer drops the charges. She goes to talk to, Puppy's mom, and of course her mom is upset. She's really upset, and, she's crying, and she was like, listen, she could go back to jail for 10 years. Like, we already know her mom's dealing with cancer and everything else, so I'm sure that was a very raw reality of what that could possibly mean if Puppy goes to jail for 10 years. We found out that can't nobody get in touch with the boyfriend. Puppy was like, they were supposed to be going to Vegas, and he was still going to Vegas without her, honey. And she was worried about whether they were going to be together or not, whether he would stick by her, while she had to go through all of this. But Amber was the one that went up to the jail and got the information. Amber was the one that was doing all the legwork, not the boyfriend. He was MIA, child, or the fiance. He was MIA, child. So they later on in the episode, we talked to Puppy, and Puppy was like, listen, I wish I had turned myself in when I was supposed to. That was just a week ago. Had I turned myself in, maybe I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in, because, child, she was in jail. They were interviewing her while she was in jail. And she said, I just wanted to get through the summer. Like, my birthday was coming up. Amber's birthday was coming up. I had a trip to Vegas planned. Like, I was just trying to get to the end of the summer, and then I was going to turn myself in. First of all, you weren't. Second of all, girl, I don't know, child, that just wasn't a good idea. But I understand she was scared of going back to jail. Like, really, that's all it was. But, child, you back in jail anyway. But we found out that that they did let her out. Her parole officer let her, did release her a week later. And her and old boy are still engaged. They ain't got married yet, but they are still engaged. They are still together. So, listen, Puppy, you do you, girl. You live your best life, okay? You live your best life. We're going to say Dante and Tia. We're going to say them for a minute. Lisa and Stan. So they are still not together, okay? Stan is at his house. He realizes that he spent a lot of money on Lisa. He said he done spent about $25,000 on Lisa, and it didn't work out. She said, he was like, me and Lisa are on a break, and it's going to probably be a permanent break. We see Stan and his ex-girlfriend come by the house, and Stan is telling her, about how horrible things were with Lisa. And he was like, I mean, she's cool and all. Me and her had a good relationship. I mean, she could stand to lose a couple of pounds. What? You could stand to get a better toupee. Child. But, child, you see him, he pulled out a whole Lunchable and about 5 strawberries as a little appetizer plate for her to come over. We saw Lisa. Lisa is living with her brother. She's still single, so she says. And she's living with her brother, and child, we saw her getting baptized in a good old-fashioned tin tub, child, in the middle of the woods. She was getting baptized. And listen, I'm not here. I ain't joking. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Listen, if you find the Lord wherever you find him, you find him in a tin tub in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the woods, and that's how you want to be baptized, girl, do you. But she said that she's rededicating herself to the Lord because she said, it was a bad situation. She's done some bad things in her life, but she's not that person anymore. And she is trying to be better. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay. Lindsay, John, and Shane. Shane still is not in the house. Lindsay, she done pulled up on John, and they met down on the beach. And listen, I really was so proud of John in this moment. And then he screwed it up. But Lindsay is giving him the I love you. You're the only one for me. I don't know what I was thinking. I was turned around. I was lost, but now I'm found. I really, really, really am sorry. He was like, but you got married and had a whole baby. Like, we were together. I only had like 2 months in jail. By the time I got out of jail, you were getting married to a whole nother man and then turned around and had a baby with him. Like, but whenever things don't work out with him, then here you come. And I can't keep playing this game with you. I can't keep going back and forth with you. I'm sorry. I really love you. You're the one. And he was like, I got a girlfriend. Well, I mean, how's that working out for you? He was like, we had our ups and downs, but I love her and she loved me. And he actually walked away from Lindsay. He said, I can't do this with you. You are toxic. It's not good. And I can't do this with you. Like, you reel me in, and as soon as you decide you want to do something else or something else comes along, you're going to leave me hanging. And I'm not doing this with you. And baby, he left her ass sitting right there on that boardwalk, and she was crying, and she was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he left me. But then when they gave us the update, child, they back together. I said, damn you, John. I was so proud of him in that moment. I was like, yes, John. You better walk away from that woman and tell her that you better walk away from her. But child, she done put her web out, and he done got trapped in it again, child. He done got trapped in it again. Brittany and Ray. So we left off with Ray getting ready to give Brittany this promise ring, and we all knew that was not going to end well. He gives her this whole speech about how much she means to him and how much he loves her and how she held him down and he was there for her when she needed him to be there for her. And he got out of jail and she was everything. This whole long speech, and her friends are there and everybody's like, yes, here it comes, here it comes. He pulls out a ring and then he says, this is a promise to you. She was like, promise? She said, a promise. She said, I don't need a promise. I don't need a promise. I need a commitment. I said, I know that's right. Brittany said, I don't need no promise. I need a commitment. I was here for that. I said, okay, not a promise, but a commitment. She said, do we do promise rings at 33? That's what we do at 33. We do promise rings. Now, listen, I tend to not agree with Brittany on a lot of stuff, but I agree with Brittany on this. From the point of view of, he told her that he promised her that he would propose to her by the end of the year. Then you should have just gave me a bracelet. Because then there would be no confusion. So you are going to ask me, you're going to make a promise to me, and within the year you're going to propose to me. Baby, you might as well kept this little bit of money you spent on this ring and put it towards the next ring and just gave me a nice little tennis bracelet or something. Because I'm with Brittany on this one. Now you got me out here looking crazy in front of my friends who I done already told that you was going to propose to. You pull out a whole ring and then talk about a promise. Ain't no promise. Either we engaged or we not. And if you say you're going to ask me to marry you by the end of the year, then I just wait. So baby, she storms off. She's in her feelings. The next day, she's out at the beach talking to her friends, telling them that she's still mad. She's still feeling some kind of way about this situation, and she is still not happy about it. And Ray rolls up on her, and he was like, I'm embarrassed. I feel like, unappreciated. Like, I really didn't expect it to go that way. He was like, can you go for a walk with me? So they go for a walk along the beach. Now, add it in. By the time they got done filming this scene, they started off, it was light. By the time they were done, it was dark. They was out there that long having this conversation. Ciao. But Ray explains where he's coming from. And again, I understand where Ray is coming from, but I just feel like his intentions were there. But I feel like what he should have done was, again, just don't give her no ring. then there's no confusion. I remember my cousin did that. He gave his girlfriend a promise ring one time, and we all said the same thing. Like, what the hell is a promise ring? Just give me like some really nice diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet or something. Don't buy me nothing. Don't buy me nothing that resembles a ring if that ain't what it is. I don't want no confusion. I don't want no misunderstandings, and I don't want no confusion. Okay? But once he promised that he was going to propose to her by the end of the year, I think she was cool with it. She was like, okay, all right, you going to propose to me by the end of the year. All right, cool. John and Christiana. Now, Christiana is gone. She is in the wind. Ain't nobody seeing or heard from her. John don't know where she is. He don't know whether she relapsed. He don't know who her friend. He said, she hasn't made the best decision when it comes to friends. And I love her and she loves me. And I need her to understand that my love is real. And that we are under the same sun. And hopefully she understand that no matter what, we are under the same sun. And so he goes and he has a ritual ceremony with his friend. It's a cleansing ceremony where he ended up cutting John's hair. I guess because of the energy in the hair or whatever. I'm sure there's some symbolism with that part of it. And he's like, listen, I love her, and, I miss her. That was my Bonnie she was the Bonnie to my Clyde. She was my ride or die. But I just hope that wherever she is, that she's taking care of herself and everything is okay. Now, when they got to the epilogue at the end of this, he still had not heard from her. So I don't know what's going on with them. And I don't know what happened. Like, I guess she relapsed. And I hate to see it because she was doing really well, and I was really happy to see it. But I guess she relapsed, child. I don't know. Okay, last but not least, child, Dante and Tia. Because I think that's it. I think we done hit everybody. Dante and Tia. Child, listen. Dante done showed up down to that wedding. Now, Tia and Nicole, they got married. And Dante didn't interrupt it. And he was asking himself, why am I here? Why am I here? Because the producers told you to be there. But anyway, why am I there? So, as they're processing out, they walk past Dante. And Nicole is like, what is Dante doing here? Oh my gosh. So, Tia is like, what are you doing here, dude? Like, why are you here? And he was like, well, I'm just here, to show my support. And Tia was like, what if I showed up at your wedding and said, I'm just here to show you some support? And he was like, I wouldn't want you at nothing dealing with me. Tia was like, exactly. And then she went and swung on Dante. Listen, I would give Dante credit because Dante was not trying to hit that woman back. He was trying to keep her off of him. And the production jumped in and he was clear to say, listen, I wasn't hitting her. I didn't hit her. And production was like, we know you didn't hit her. We know you didn't try to swing on her. And she is straight up trying to whoop Dante's ass. Now, I told y'all before, I don't think she want that. Like, you angry and you have anger on your side, but let's be clear. He got the Marines on his. I know you done been to jail and you have probably seen some things. But please understand, he has been trained on how to kill people I don't know how many different ways. You probably don't want none of that. I'm just being honest here. Now, I know you think you're really badass, and I get all of that. But I need you to understand. You don't want that. Now, Nicole ends up getting mad at Dante. Now, Tia swung on Dante first. Now, granted, I guess Tia can't swing if Dante ain't there. So maybe that's why she was mad. Because why was you there, Dante? And maybe that's why she got mad. Because maybe she was saying the same thing. Why were you there, Dante? But either way, Tia got mad because Dante had to be drugged. Nicole ran away. She took her camera off and everything, honey. She was over it. She was over the whole thing. And in their epilogue, she told me something. I just want Dante to leave me alone. I want him to just, leave me alone. I don't know why he's talking to me. I don't know why did he come here? And Dante was like, you know what? I'm just stupid, I guess. I'm just a sucker for love. Yada, 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 boo, da, boo, da, boo. And come to find out, China Nicole's still calling Dante. She is still reaching out to Dante and still calling Dante. And Dante got himself a new prison bag. Now, word on the curb is Lindsay. Lindsay from last year, crazy ass Lindsay. Yeah, that Lindsay. But we'll see who it really is now. Word on the curb is that's who it is, and that they've already started filming for the next season. She's still locked up though, so we'll see. We will see. Anyway, y'all, that was that. That is the end of this season, and I will see y'all on the other side. Peace.